I've screened over 500 entry-level cybersecurity candidates and hired dozens. I've watched hundreds try to break in this field. Some succeed in months, others struggle for years with the same approach. Now the difference is, guys, they're not following the obvious path everyone else takes. This video is the complete blueprint, everything you actually need to land your first cybersecurity role without wasting years or going into debt. Let's break down exactly what works. Guys, part one is the reality check. The traditional path is normally broken. Here's what most people try to do. They get Security Plus, apply to 200 junior analyst jobs, and get rejected, and wonder what went wrong. I see this cycle constantly repeating itself. Now, the problem is everyone has Security Plus now. You're competing against 300 people with identical credentials for entry-level position. The candidates who get hired, they're doing 5 things simultaneously that create an unfair advantage. Not one approach, 5 parallel strategies working together. Let me break down each and one and show you exactly how to implement them, guys. The strategy 1 is build with free resources. The $0 foundation. Guys, you don't need expensive boot camps or certifications to start. I've hired people who spend $0 on training and turned down candidates who spend $15K on boot camps. The most important thing is start with hands-on practice platforms. Things like TryHackMe free tier, teaches by doing, complete beginner paths, document every room on LinkedIn. Hack the Box Academy has free courses, actual exploitation techniques. Both build public profiles showing your skills. Use competitions that actually build skills. Join Cyber Fast Track, Pico CTF, Sans Holiday Hack Challenge. You don't need to win, you need to participate and solve real security challenges. These give you public proof of skills development, guys. YouTube University. Things like Network Chuck for networking fundamentals, John Hammond for CTF walkthroughs and malware analysis, IPsec for Hack the Box methodology, thousands of hours of professional training completely for free, guys. Take notes, practice concepts, actually do the work alongside the videos. There are free vendor certifications that allows you to start building skills. Cisco's Introduction to Cybersecurity, IBM's Cybersecurity Analyst Professional Certificate, Microsoft Security Fundamentals. These aren't prestigious, but they're legitimate credentials that teach foundations and fill resume space, all for free. Now, why does this work? You are actually building demonstrable skills and public proof simultaneously. When I review candidates, I check TryHackMe profiles, I look at Hack the Box stats. These platforms validate you can actually do the security work, not just claim it. Now, strategy number 2 is build your home lab. Everyone shows up with Security Plus. The candidates who get interviews show up with GitHub repositories documenting actual projects. Now, home lab that gets you hired. You have to start simple. Things like old laptop running VirtualBox. You can install Kali Linux, deploy vulnerable VMs like Metasploitable, DV and WA. They cost $0 if you have old hardware, or under $300 for a used laptop if needed. Now, what to actually build? Capture the network traffic using Wireshark. Analyze it, document findings, set up and configure security tools like Splunk, Suricata, Snort, build vulnerable web applications and exploit them, document the remediation, create detection rules for common attacks, practice incident response scenarios. Guys, document everything on your GitHub. Your lab setup and configuration, findings from traffic analysis, detection rules you wrote, CTF write-ups, scripts you created, security tools you experimented with. Make your learning visible and provable. Now, the most important interview advantage is when hiring managers ask, tell me about a time you investigated suspicious activity, You have real examples, not theoretical answers, actual projects you can walk through in detail. That's the difference between you and the 50 other candidates with just certifications. The candidate who couldn't recite OWASP Top 10 perfectly but showed me their GitHub SQL injection discovery in their test app, well, they got hired. With better memorization candidates, demonstrated ability beats claimed knowledge every single time, guys. Now, strategy number 3, create public content. You need to build reputation while you sleep. I hired someone who never applied to my company, but I found their blog during a Google search. They had 47 readers. The content showed they could explain technical concepts clearly, the skill we actually needed the most. Now, content strategy that actually works is, and what to write. Explain concepts very simply. Things like how DNS works for beginners. Document your learning journey. How I broke my home lab and fixed it. Write tutorials such as setting up your first SIEM. Create tool comparisons. Splunk versus Elk and what we have learned. Break down security concepts. What happens during a phishing attack. This simple formula is the most important one. 1 post per week, 300 to 500 words. Write like you are explaining to a friend, not a textbook. Include mistakes and how you fix them. Authenticity beats polish every time. Now, where to publish? You can use platforms like Medium for built-in audience, LinkedIn articles where hiring managers actually are, personal blog that you own long-term, dev.to or Hashnote for technical communities. Post everywhere. Discoverability actually compounds over time. Now, why does this work? Most security professionals can't write or explain things clearly. Your content proves you have the rarest skill there is. That's the communication. Now, it also proves technical knowledge better than resume bullets. Every piece is a permanent asset working for you 24/7. That post from 6 months ago, still showing up in Google searches today, still proving expertise while you are actually sleeping. Companies will start finding you. That's exactly what happened to me. Now, strategy number 4, network strategically. There is actually an access to a hidden job market that nobody talks about. You send 150 job applications and got only 2 interviews, but when you start networking strategically, you get 5 offers in 3 months. The best cybersecurity jobs never actually get posted publicly. They're filled through networks. Now, LinkedIn engagement. Find security professionals at companies that you want to work for. Send personalized messages, not templates. Reference specific content they posted. Share relevant insight from your expertise. Ask about their work, not about just jobs. Example, saw your post about incident response automation, dealing with similar challenges and my current role. You'll get 50% response rate versus 2% from what old applications could do. These conversations build relationships before opportunities even actually exist. You can use local security meetups such as B-Sides conferences, OWASP chapters, ISACA meetings, security user groups. Show up consistently. Relationships built over multiple encounters, not one-time networking. Engage with content during presentations. Ask questions and participate genuinely. Don't lead with, I'm job hunting. Just be interested in work and people. After 3 meetups, a CISO approached me asking if I was job searching. His team had an opening. Never went through HR. Started 2 weeks later. That's what this tactic can do for you guys. Help people before asking for anything. Someone struggling with Python log parsing, comment with the solution. Security professional asking for tool recommendations, share detailed comparison. Build your reputation as helpful first. Opportunities come to you afterwards. Now, the real success pattern is coffee chat about threat intelligence challenges led to we're actually hiring. Helping someone troubleshoot SIEM configuration led to a referral, and contributing to open source security tool led to contract work before becoming a full-time employee. Your network is your actual job search engine, guys. Build it intentionally. Over 3-6 months, the payoff is jobs you'd never access through applications alone. Now, strategy number 5, The internal transition path. Again, there is a backdoor that most people miss. I've watched 200 people try breaking into cybersecurity, and 80% applied directly to security analyst jobs, and they failed. 20% took a different path, and they all succeeded. Now, the strategy was get hired anywhere in IT first. Help desk, system administrator, network engineer. These roles are desperate for people. Competition is 20 applications, not 300, as is in cyber. Then volunteer for security. And what I mean, be excellent at your job first, but then volunteer for security work that nobody wants to do. Things like, password resets become checking for compromised credentials too. Printer issues become notice no monitoring on this network segment. Incident happens, we'll offer to help and investigate. Audit coming, volunteer to gather evidence. Why does this work, guys? You are building security experience while getting paid. When internal security roles open, you're competing against 3 people instead of 300. You've already passed the culture fit test. You understand the business context. You have internal advocates within the business. My best security engineer started in help desk. 6 months later, got internal security role over external candidates with better credentials because he knew our environment and had team relationships. Or alternative, join companies without security teams yet. Things like startups, mid-sized companies growing fast. Get hired for IT and become the security person by necessity. You're gaining real experience while others are still applying. Internal moves are 10 times easier than external applications. Sometimes the best path into security isn't through job postings, guys. Now, you need to master the fundamentals and what actually separates good candidates. Hired candidates with fewer certifications over the ones with more repeatedly. The difference, fundamentals, guys. Networking. Things like TCP/IP, OCI model, how routing actually works, what happens when you type in a URL, not just simple memorization, a real understanding. Can you troubleshoot network issues? Explain how a packet travels through infrastructure. That's what really matters, guys. Operating systems. Do you understand Linux and Windows internals? File systems, processes, permissions, how services work. You can't secure what you don't understand. Set up both systems, break them, and fix them, guys. Scripting basics is another important thing that people get bypassed. Python or PowerShell for automation. You don't need to be a developer, but you need to read scripts, modify them, write basic automation. Security increasingly requires scripting capability. Other security fundamentals are defense in depth, least privileged, authentication versus authorization. Do you understand the differences? Common vulnerabilities and why they exist. Attack methodologies at high level. The candidate who explained TCP three-way handshake clearly while troubleshooting got hired over the one with OSCP who couldn't. Fundamentals will always win, guys. Now, the application strategy. Playing the numbers game smartly. Apply to jobs even when you don't meet the 100% requirements. Job postings, remember guys, are only wish lists, not admission requirements. The reality is, required actually means nice to have. 5 years experience means we want someone who isn't completely lost. Meet 50 to 60% requirements? Apply anyway. I've hired 12 people. Know how many met all of the requirements? Actually 0, guys. And how to apply. Address the gap in your cover letter. Don't have 5 years professional experience, but here's my home lab with 18 months documented projects. Show how you compensate for what you lack. The interview. When you don't know something, that's an important point, guys. Explain how you would figure it out. Demonstrate your thinking process, not just answers. Ask great questions, guys. What's your biggest security challenge right now? How do you secure or how do you measure your security success? That shows security professional thinking. Now, how do we put it all together, guys? Your 6-month action plan. All 5 strategies working simultaneously create compounding advantages. Month 1 to 2, start try hack me and hack the box 3 paths. Build basic home lab with virtual box. Write first blogs documenting your learning, optimize LinkedIn profile, and find 10 security professionals at target companies. Now, month 3 and 4, continue your hands-on practice. Document projects on GitHub, write weekly blog posts, and attend your first local security meetups. Engage daily on LinkedIn with security content and start helping others in online communities. Now, month 5 and 6, complete the free vendor certifications, build a portfolio of projects, and continue your content creation consistently. Attend meetups regularly and build relationships. Apply strategically to roles where you meet 60% of the requirements. Now, the compounding effect will be your Troy Hackme profile will show skills, your GitHub proves you can build, your blog demonstrates communication, and your LinkedIn engagement builds a network. Your meetup attendance creates relationship, and your applications now come with proof, not just claims. Companies start finding you through content, and your network introduces opportunities. Internal positions open up. You're not just another resume in the pile of anymore. And now, guys, the real secret. Breaking into cybersecurity isn't about finding the one magic trick. It's about doing multiple things consistently that compounds over time. Free resources build foundational skills, guys. Home labs create demonstrable projects. Public content proves communication ability. Networking opens hidden opportunities. And internal transitions reduce competition. Now, fundamentals separate you from memorizers. None of these alone guarantee success. All of them together make success nearly inevitable. The people who fail, they do one thing. Usually just apply to jobs and wonder why it doesn't work. The people who succeed, they do all 5 strategies for 6 months and watch opportunities multiply. You don't need expensive boot camps, guys. You don't need perfect credentials. You need consistent execution across multiple strategies that build your reputation, prove your skills, and create discoverability. Start today, guys. Pick one strategy and begin. Add another next week. In 6 months, you have advantages 90% of applications don't have. Your first cybersecurity role is waiting for you. So, guys, go earn it. And most importantly, stay safe out there. Hopefully this helps you. Drop a like, a comment, and follow for more amazing cybersecurity advice in the near future, guys. All the best.